Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. But for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all could be with us. Also, tuning in through our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. Our next guest is recognized as one of the most experienced and successful homicide detectives in the country. You all probably also know him from his hit show, Homicide Hunter, Lieutenant Joe Kenda. He's now back for season 2, though, of his new show that already has people talking, and we're excited about that. It is on Discovery Plus, called American Detective. I'm excited to welcome Lieutenant Joe Kenda to our program today to talk about his extraordinary career and also what you all can expect from this new season. Lieutenant, thank you so much again for the time. Really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
So I have gotten to know you not only from your show, but also from your books. I should mention that as well. You're a best-selling author, but you've been able to chronicle your career not only on television, but also in print as well. Lieutenant, what has it been like for you to reflect on your career and all you've been able to achieve?
It's been an interesting ride. All the years I worked, no one was ever happy to see me. And now everyone is. It's very bizarre. Now they want my autograph. It's kind of amazing.
I saw an interview you did with People TV, Lieutenant, and you were talking about actually the final season of Homicide Hunter, Lieutenant Joe Kenda, and you were saying you knew it was time because you didn't want to be one of those people who went on too long. I think it really says a lot because, I mean, your shows have been so successful. Where do you think that passion for justice comes from and not for the fame comes from?
The fame has nothing to do with it. It's about, when someone does something unspeakable to someone else, you have two choices. You can remain seated, or you can stand up and do something about it. I stood up, and I'm proud of that.
And you have been able to be an individual that individuals in law enforcement, Lieutenant, have been able to look to as an example. What has that been like for you? Because, again, a lot of us have gotten to know you from seeing your stories brought to life. But what has it been like for you to have people actually in law enforcement who look up to you as an example?
It's the best compliment that I've ever had for anything I've ever done in the entertainment world is that cops like the show because they understand it's the real deal. Yeah. It's not the invention of some scriptwriter. It's not car chases and gun battles, which rarely ever happen. It is criminal investigation, one foot in front of the other. And that's what they admire about it, and that makes me feel quite good that they think so. I have fans in police departments all over the country.
And Lieutenant, the thing I thought about when I was prepping for this chat with you today, and again, I really appreciate the time as you're gearing up for season 2, premiering today for those joining us live, is that I think sometimes we watch these shows on television and we forget these are real people. These are real crimes. And it really does show two things. One, of course, unfortunately, the inhumane things that we as human beings can do, but also people like yourself who are willing to stand up for what's right. What has that been like for you to have those kind of conversations that, yes, it's television that is gripping, but these are real-life examples and experiences that people are going through?
Absolutely. I had a family come to speak about their deceased daughter. I hadn't seen them in 20 years, but I have a distinctive voice. And when the father got out of the car, he was putting a sport coat on, and he had his back turned to me. And all I said was, "Hello, Jack." And he started to cry before he turned around, because that was the voice that told him his daughter was dead. This is very serious business. And there is no closure the press likes to speak about when somebody gets arrested. A loss of a loved one is a hole in your heart that never heals. They're never going to come back. You arrest someone, you have at least some information as to how this occurred. But is it closure? No, it's not.
And I think, again, that's a great reminder for all of us. I want to say for those who are just tuning in, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're excited to welcome Lieutenant Joe Kenda to our program today. Today, actually, for those joining us live, is the premiere of the new season, Season 2 of American Detective with Lieutenant Joe Kenda. Of course, it's on Discovery Plus. I'm going to remind you of that. What can we look forward to this season, Lieutenant?
These are cases from small towns, not big cities, small places, involving thousands of detectives, both men and women, who just like me and work just as hard as me for little or no money, suffering the slings and arrows of the press and the public, are still able and willing to stand in the victim's shoes and protect their interests, because the victims can no longer stand in their own shoes.
So it really allows us to
are real people.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, because these are real people. These are people that people can identify with. Yeah. The Hollywood version of a bad guy is a guy in a $5,000 suit with a private jet who is not only brilliant, but has 15 or 20 minions also wearing $5,000 suits to serve his every whim. Couldn't be further from the truth. Nobody knows anybody like that. But take a guy who lives in your neighborhood, a guy who works where you work, a guy who reminds you of someone you drive to work with, and you have their interest. We have a guy who's got 5 children and a wife. He has no bad habits. He doesn't drink. He doesn't play with drugs. He has no high-risk elements to his life. He works and he takes care of his family. His wife and a couple of his children come home from a shopping trip and find him shot in the back of the head on a kitchen floor. Now, who might have done that? Well, that's the question, isn't it? And that's how these programs are. They talk about the resolution of that event.
And that's what we'll be looking forward to again on Discovery Plus Season 2 for those joining us live. Premieres today, Wednesday, January the 26th. Again, the show is American Detective with Lieutenant Joe Kenda. We've been speaking with Lieutenant Joe Kenda today, talking to him about his amazing career and also about the show. Lieutenant, again, thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it, and looking forward to having you back on the program again.
You're entirely welcome, Cyrus.
Thank you. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.